is number 5, and that is Terrence Barber. 9 kickoff returns, as long 45 yards on the season. And the kick with Kenny Stucker, and we are underway here at the Kiel Center in St. Louis. Arena Football League Week 5. Played off the net by Barber. Barber up on the near side and out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. There's the quarterback we spoke of, John Kaleo, number 3, 6 foot, 200-pounder in his 3rd year. A member of the Maryland Terrapins, and this year against Milwaukee, what a game he had 2 weeks ago. 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception, threw for over 300 yards.
About last week, 26 of 39, 291 yards, 5 touchdowns.
And Kaleo and the Stampede will start 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. Kaleo, quick hit to number 7, and that is Darrell Hammond.
Boy, Darrell Hammond, you can't find anybody in this organization that just doesn't give him the ultimate superlatives. They think this guy can play with like a Barry Wagner in this league.
The defensive setup for the Mustangs: Benson, Berry, and Jarvis up front, Lacombe, Compton, and then James, Harper, and Plummer, as James and Plummer are the defensive specialists. And what a career Bruce Plummer had, over 50 career NFL appearances.
You will like him a lot. He's the hammer.
2nd down now, Kaleo. And the first down yardage is good. The reception made by Terrence Barber, the 2nd-year player out of Florida.
Like Kenny Harper lined up on the inside position. One of the things that Will McClay, defensive coordinator for the Mustangs, had to do was change things up. And you're going to see some new looks out of this Mustang defense.
22 on quick. Ready?
And the St. Louis Stampede off to a great start. 4-0, as I mentioned, the first ever expansion team to open an AFL season with a 4-0 record. Fumbled football, it hits the turf, and let's see who picks it up. Ball is still being worked for, and I think indeed the Milwaukee Mustangs have picked up the fumble out of the hands of number 7, Darrell Hammond.
Turnovers are key. You definitely want to be able to hold serve. But this is a play where, you know, in arena football, you throw the ball 75–80% of the time. You do want to mix up the runs. This is one case where a blunder hurts you early at home.
Early turnover by St. Louis. Back after this. Tonight's Arena Football League game is brought to you by Pep Boys. For quality parts, accessories, and service, come to Pep Boys, America's Automotive Supercenter. Early turnover, the handoff to number 7, Darrell Hammond, and he loses the handle. Never did gather the football.
You make a good point, Mike. Just a bad exchange. There he's scrambling for it. Papadero tries to get to it and just doesn't do it. This is really good for the Mustangs. They just got their first win a week ago, folks, and now they got a football on a turnover.
Well, in talking to their head coach, Michael Trigg, yesterday, he said, we must take some chances tonight, so let's see how open they are offensively. They're going for the big hits early on. The quarterback is Todd Hamill. He goes long, Compton wide open, touchdown. We must take some chances. We must go deep early. We must score on our first possession.
Boy, Shankor, he falls down. The turf somewhat grabbed him, but you called it. Gutsy call, take some chances, and try to go up top. This is a classic play in arena football. A read with the inside receiver. Compton now turns it up. See, now you got to find the football. He does that and scores.
He is now the leader, continues to be, with 6 touchdowns on the year on just 16 total receptions. And what a good start for the Milwaukee Mustangs as they look to make it 7-0 on the attempted PAT by number 8, Kenny Stucker. And it's blocked and knocked down. In there, untouched, was number 99, the Boston brawler, Fran Pasadero, but there is a flag on the play.
Make sure Pasadero didn't take the outside route. Is it illegal in arena football to go outside rushing a kick? If so, you'll have to bring it back.
Hello.
Jack Baker. Lead belongs to the Mustangs in Milwaukee, and there you see the legendary Earl Bruce. Last year he was in the AFL with Cleveland, and Michael Trigg has been a guy who has been around this league for a long time. 2-time Arena Bowl champion, quarterback for the Detroit Drive.
Had a lot of action with his club in Fort Worth a year ago. I mean, this guy, again, he understands arena football.
Stay in bounds, stay in bounds.
Played deep in the end zone. Picked up on the side by number 5, Terrence Barber, and a whistle. And I think Barber may have stepped out of bounds. Is that the call, Doc?
He may have hit the orange stripe or hit the dasher board out of bounds. The ball, his momentum carried him to it.
Milwaukee scoring drive, just one play. It goes 33 yards and takes exactly 5 seconds. Gary Compton with the touchdown reception.
And the significance on it is that they cash in on a turnover. Somebody makes a mistake, you make them pay.
And as you and I talked about earlier, when we discussed these two teams, Milwaukee wants to get greedy now. They've got one victory in the books, and they know tonight is a big game with St. Louis off to that 4-0 start. They do not want to fall 4 games back in the standings. Kaleo, double pumps, goes up top, moving ahead of the play and getting brought down from behind by Gary Plummer. Number 8 on the reception, Marcus Badgett, the Maryland teammate of the quarterback, John Kaleo.
They're just hooking up. They've done that 1,000 times inside read. Now Badgett is back. Now that you see what's give you an indication of what Marcus Badgett is able to do. Kaleo here at the quarterback spot. Now watch March. He's going to come downfield, kind of settle in, work his way right there. See that arm over gets him open. Now he finds the ball right down the pipe. Boy, that's good execution.
Badgett getting the step and getting a gain of 28 yards. Football spotted on the 17. Kaleo, the quick hit on the far side, and it's complete to Darrell Hammond. Here you see the effectiveness of a John Kaleo also. He's so good with that quick drop, firing to both sides, and he will use all his weapons with equal efficiency.
Well, you got to get the ball back in Hammond's hands quick. When a great player has a bobble, get it back to him quick so he can get back in the zone.
Darrell Hammond, 8 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns 2 weeks ago against these very Mustangs. The flip back, moving around the outside into the 6-yard line. The ball carrier was number 5, Terrence Barber.
Barber's a good one. He loves to run the football. He really does. Young man out of Florida in his 2nd season. And again, you know that Coach Bruce will run the football.
Take a listen to John Kaleo as he works the huddle.
Hey, let's go. Punching in right here. Let's go. Rip, rocket. 25 on quick. Ready?
First down for the St. Louis Stampede as they try to equal us at 6 apiece. Kaleo from the 5-yard line. The handoff goes for the touchdown. Darrell Hammond, the ball carrier. Hammond gets the first score of the night for St. Louis.
Well, that's what they were trying to get accomplished on the fumble. And you know, you come back, you run it opposite side, confidence builder, and St. Louis is right back in this ball game. You know, in arena football, we talk about running, and the good teams are able to do it. You control the edge. There's Hammond. I mean, gutsy. That ball gets away at the end, but this time it counts.
Tom Wheelahan to attempt the point after. From the University of Missouri. It is up, and it is good. The Stampede gained the lead 7-6, and they do it on the ground. Earl Bruce said, last year we ran the football, we didn't win. This year we run it for the touchdown early. St. Louis leads Milwaukee 7-6, just about 5 minutes old already, 13 points on the board. 2 weeks ago, the Stampede defeated Milwaukee 67-65. It, at that point, was the highest scoring game ever in Arena Football League history, a combined 132 points.
No kind of game you hate to lose. Because you're giving such a great effort offensively. That's the one thing that they have tried to shore up. And Willie McClay, their defensive coordinators, assured me that you're going to like this new look tonight, and we'll see.
Wheelahan, the barefooted kicker out of Missouri, puts the ball back into play. Off the back net, having trouble handling the football was number 81, Kerry Simeon.
Boy, that hurts him. That takes the ball out of the hands of a terrific return guy.
Kerry Simeon, great return game against the Stampede 2 weeks ago. 10 kickoff returns for his head coach, Michael Trigg, for almost 270 yards.
Well, talking to Coach Bruce prior to the game, he says, this man can return the football. We fear him. And so that really works out for St. Louis.
So Milwaukee will have 45 yards to go. They'll start off on their own 5-yard line. Harry Compton goes in motion. You hear Hamill, and he works it to Compton, and Compton is brought down at the 16-yard line. A gain of about 11 on the play. St. Louis defensively, and of course here in the Arena Football League, a lot of the same names, but let's concentrate on the defensive specialists. Number 21 is Calvin Shakur out of Central State, and on the other side you see Jackson, number 1, Ozzie Jackson, and Maurice Badgett, a defensive specialist. Hammond Wood, Papstero, Harrison, Garber up front.
They expect a lot, really, out of Papadero up front, 99. Keep your eye on him.
Oh, it is a first down from the 16-yard line. Fumbled exchange, and the quarterback, Todd Hamill, is able to gather himself. And so now from both sides of the ledger, we've seen people unable to handle what should be simplified plays.
Well, you know, I used to think that, and not just on the indoor game, but the outdoor game as well. Quarterback and center relationship is something you go over 100 times throughout the course of a week. Now, who's at fault? Center, I think, does a pretty good job on that. Todd got a little antsy, I think pulled away and didn't concentrate on the football.
Right. Wing motion back, 60, Z-go, wing jab. On one, ready?
Got that wing jab. They're going to try to get a flare and the outside receiver over the top.
Todd Hamill, in his 4th year. They go on one. He goes over the middle, and again, Compton. Compton has been a busy receiver, breaks one tackle, and finally Hammond hauls him down, but not until he gets into St. Louis territory at the 22-yard line.
One of the things we talked about in the open was his ability to run after the catch. Here's a guy, again, who bench presses over 350 pounds. Former tight end, about a 4'6" guy. Watch him, nothing real complicated about this. He settles down, works the option route, catches, gets the shoulder square, now gets upfield.
Broke right through the arms of Calvin Shakur, one of the defensive specialists.
Ready?
When you hear choice route in the offensive play, it's an option, which usually gives a guy like Compton a route to break either in or out.
Well, my choice would be Compton right now, wouldn't it, partner? Let's see if they go to number 2. And they do on the near side. Compton gets jammed into the side boards by both Hammond and number 1 Ozzie Jackson, but not until he is close to another Milwaukee first down.
Now, if I'm St. Louis, I start to worry about 81, Kerry Simeon, because now you're going out to Compton, and he kind of breaks out.
Yeah, in the middle. Left wing over motion.
Let me have a left wing over Y high motion, 50 Y change.
Hamill visiting with the former quarterback himself, his head coach Michael Trigg.
Left wing over, Y motion, 50 stack, Y choice. On one, ready?
50 series again. They're going to try to work the ball continually between the hashes downfield with the choice route.
All 3 receptions Hamill has completed to number 2, Gary Compton. In motion is Kenny Harper, and a whistle and a flag before the play. The 25-second play clock used here in arena football. And that play took about 26 or 27 seconds to get going.
If I'm a coach, that's the one infraction that drives me nuts. Self-inflicted wound. Get in and get out of the huddle, call the play, you know, and make it happen. They had a nice matchup, too. Simeon and Jackson one-on-one.
St. Louis head coach Earl Bruce was complimenting the 3 linemen of the Milwaukee Mustangs. Big, strong, and physical. You get a good look at number 68 over the football right now. That's Hiawatha Berry.
He's a good one.
Kenny Harper in motion on the near side. Plenty of time. Dumped off to Compton. Compton jammed into the side at the 2-yard line. Compton is liking life right now as he has 4 receptions already in the contest.
You notice the confidence, the level of confidence in this club. I mean, they just had their first win. They had lost 15 games in a row, and now all of a sudden guys are breathing. We're going to take another look at this. You're going to see the motion. Motion man comes aside, which is very important in this game because you get the defense going back. Now watch, he will settle, little inside move on. There your crossing route comes there. Ball is right on the money. So you had a crossing route to really develop that play.
So a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line as the Mustangs looking to score on their 2nd possession. The pitch back, the ball carrier Taylor, and he's in for the score. Number 22, the ball carrier Craig Taylor out of West Virginia, the rookie here in arena football. Missed the first 3 weeks of the season, has regained the lead for the Mustangs.
That's good execution, right down and dirty. You get people to help you block. Shane Garrett really deserves a lot of credit on this. He's only 185 pounds. And when we get another look at it, you're going to see that he stuck his Rydell helmet right in there at the point of attack and made a key block.
Craig Taylor brought in by Michael Trigg to add some offensive elements. He gets the touchdown now. The point after attempt is no good, but again, another flag on the play. Now, big number 99, Fran Papstero, wasn't in the backfield that time, so we know that's not the violation.
Well, boy, Stampede.
Illegal outside rush, 42 on the defense, half the distance to the goal. Repeat the try.
Boy, Ricky Wood, that time, they're just trading places now.
Yep.
That's a fundamental deal that you can control.
Wood played last year for that man, Earl Bruce, as a member of the Cleveland Thunderbolts. So half the distance. And remember the first time Hamill and his teammates had this similar situation, went for two and came up empty.
If I'm going to go at it, I get the ball in the hands of my fullback.
Big Craig Taylor has the touchdown. He's number 22. Close set behind the quarterback, Todd Hamill. The give to number 82, and Garrett is stopped short. A good defensive play by Calvin Shakur. 2 times coming away empty on the 2-point conversion, so it's a 5-point lead early for the Mustangs on the deuce. Minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter. This is week 5 of Arena Football League action here on the deuce. The Milwaukee Mustangs looking for their second victory of the season. They lead the Stampede of St. Louis 12-7. An early turnover by St. Louis turned into 6 points, and then that was just plain and simple a very impressive drive put together by Milwaukee.
It really was, but they're not finishing. You got to get the PAT or get the 2 points. That will invariably come back and just kick them right in the rear end.
Stucker with the kick, and it goes out of bounds, and so the flag will fall in good field position. And the special thing about arena football, you get to keep it, a souvenir. I mean, I'll take a hockey puck, but I would love to have one of those.
I don't want a puck. Not coming 100 miles an hour with a glass.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't want the puck, but I'll take that.
And look at him. He is making darn sure nobody tells him he can't have that football.
And that's better than a baseball. I mean, let's face it. Come on.
No question. The big question is, though, will he go out in the backyard, throw it on the pavement with his friends, scuff it up, and ruin it forever?
You have to.
8-6-6 on 2. Ready?
Very costly here in the Arena League to kick the kickoff out of bounds. Results in great field position on the 20-yard line. So just 30 yards to go for a score. John Kaleo, tight formation with the receiver in motion on the far side. Hill is wide open, and Hill can't handle the little pass from Kaleo. There was definitely confusion in the backfield for Milwaukee.
2 things. Kaleo's ability to get outside of the pocket, and then for receivers, this time Ed Hill, you have to recognize when your quarterback's in a little trouble, come back and help him, but you got to make the catch.
Let's go. Fly rocket left.
You hear the communication between the 2.
Right on 3. Ready?
Talking to Terrence Badgett yesterday, he described Kaleo as a very disciplined leader and a guy you don't want to get in his face, but he'll admit when he is wrong. And so both guys kind of taking the blame there. Hill goes back in motion, number 2, Ed Hill. Kaleo goes right back to the man, and he gets leveled at the line of scrimmage. Good hit applied by number 1, Gary Mullen.
Well, that's how you play defense. That's how you come up. They beat that play to death by scheme. They beat it up by scheme. They come up, and if you're going to run a little quick deal, a little hitch or flare, or we used to call them flare rides or fire routes, you have got to get a block by the outside receiver. Come up and chip. It's a buddy system. That time, the buddy failed him.
Now, it's interesting, too, that John Kaleo will look in many different directions. He'll look to Hill. He'll look to Marcus Badgett. And he will look to Terrence Barber. And Badgett speaking yesterday about his quarterback. Marcus also from Maryland. Very disciplined in his description of Kaleo. Kaleo now working on 3rd and 9. And the football is in the hands of now Mullen. And Mullen works his way towards the end zone. And it is a touchdown for Milwaukee. Now turnovers costly early.
We're talking new look Mustang defense. They are changing things up. A couple of weeks ago, this was predominantly a man-to-man defensive scheme. Now they're running some zone. They're picking up matchups. And I'll tell you this. Will McClay's got to be the happiest guy on that Mustang sideline. Okay, the ball is poorly thrown, but it's a good break on it by Mullen. And now this is, you turn into an offensive player, and in arena football, most guys go both ways.
Yes, they certainly do, and that's what's so ironic about the situation of great offense 2 weeks ago in the 67-65 game. Point after attempt, no flag, and it is converted by the Mustangs, and they now lead this game 19-7.
You know, Kaleo, and this is a situation where, again, this is a very, very confident club offensively. They have a lot of receivers, and there are things they feel like they can do. This is a case where you watch, John, he comes back, quarterback there, he sets up and throws. Now, the receiver here is not looking around. He's got a pour coming out of his break. The ball is behind him, and it just opens up a clear lane for Mullen to escape. Now, watch this. Quarterbacks try to make it. It was a gutsy effort, but Mullen wanted the end zone worse than John wanted to stop him.
They hit him right. Right? Be smart.
Kaleo, the big game. a couple of weeks ago against the Mustangs. And early mistakes by Kaleo and his teammate Terrence Barber with the fumble have turned into points for the Milwaukee Mustangs.
Well, give the Mustangs some credit defensively. They altered their scheme, and now they are making things happen.
And in the end zone, it's brought out by Barber. Barber avoids a tackle, moves ahead to the 10-yard line, works around Campbell, and he's forced out at the 16. The American Football League, the Arena Football League tonight, and then on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball from the ballpark in Arlington, Texas. Frank Thomas and the Chicago White Sox take on Juan Gonzalez. Texas ace Kenny Rogers, winner of his last 7 starts, expected to pitch against the White Sox Jim Abbott and their new skipper Terry Bevington. It's Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Kaleo under pressure, fires incomplete, and a flag on the play. Good surge from the defensive line of the Mustangs there.
Well, you just start to sense now the confidence level is overwhelming for the Mustangs.
The holding is the call, though. As Campbell, number 77, Arnold, played 3 games with Miami, newly acquired by Milwaukee. Tell you what, Michael Trigg excited to have that guy in his lineup. Oh, yeah.
They know that he can apply some pressure right up the gut. Now, offensively.
Holding, number 27 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
And that's Chad Wiesling, who held on. You look at John Kaleo's numbers tonight. 4 for 7, 47 yards, and interception. What a game last week. 5 touchdowns as Iowa was defeated for the first time this season. 26 of 39, almost 300 yards in the air.
Just 1 interception.
To the near side. A stutter step, and Garrett forces the receiver out of bounds, number 2. And that is Ed Hill.
Sometimes in a situation like this offensively, you need to stick a run in. You just need to settle your guys up and let them go off and tee off of those offensive linemen. Just keep reminding yourself that you're undefeated and that you're at home and that everything will be okay if you just keep believing it.
Game 5 of the 12-game regular season. St. Louis.
On quick, ready?
One of 3 undefeated teams, along with Tampa Bay and Arizona.
This OOO scheme, you're going to see quick ones, quick hits, quick out. They got option routes on this. It's a pretty nice scheme.
Back getting ahead of steam is Ed Hill. Ed Hill on the quick hit. He avoids the tackle, but getting a hold of the leg was number 1, Gary Mullen.
The OO series is pretty similar to running football, running on the outside game, running a dive off tackle. Kind of gets your confidence going again, and maybe a guy breaks one.
Ripper 8 zoom, 43 draw. No, Ripper 8 zoom.
Earl Bruce discussing the play call with Kaleo.
Press it. Ripper 8 zoom, 44 draw. On quick, ready?
Yeah, now it's time to stick that run in, see? Little Buckeye at the helm. You better believe there's going to be some smash mouth football in this deal.
Chad Wiesling, the ball carrier. Off tackle, works around the outside. Wiesling has room towards the end zone. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
I think he stepped out on about the 11. But you see, you get a little confidence going and you stick that run in, because it kind of takes, you know, the Mustangs, their ears are pierced back and they're feeling great about themselves, and they pop one on it. At
the top of the show, I said Terrapin Trio. There's John Kaleo and Marcus Badgett and this guy, the 3rd Maryland player.
Yes, indeed. And watch, this is nice. Good block outside. Boy, when you get your buddies helping you. Chris Harkness comes in, gets a block. He steps out, but all of a sudden now, crowd gets back involved in the game for the Stampede.
The end of 1 quarter play. Couple of costly turnovers. Milwaukee leads 19-7, but good field position for the Stampede when we come back to start this. We welcome you back to the Kiel Center in St. Louis. Mike Goldberg and Doc Walker. The Milwaukee Mustangs looking for their 2nd victory of the season, and they lead 19-7 after 1 quarter play, but a first down. The football marked on the 10-yard line for John Kaleo and the St. Louis Stampede. 2 costly turnovers in the first 15 minutes of play. And almost a 3rd as it hit the turf right through the outstretched arms of number 11, Bruce Plummer, the 2nd-year player out of Mississippi State.
You're going to like Plummer. I mean, you've done enough SEC football to know that Bulldogs, those guys will hit you. Plummer will knock you out. I love this motion. Watch him come out of the break. I mean, that's the way you run a stop. But the ball is high and away, and the hammer almost makes a big play.
22 wide shallow on quick, ready? Yeah.
Kaleo and Earl Bruce talking during the timeout as we were in break, and they were both discussing the fact, forget about the interception. A lot of football to be played. Kaleo gets it into the hands of Papsadero, and he cannot hold on. The big man, the man they call the Boston Brawler, saw the end zone, forgot the football.
The Brawler couldn't take the ball with him. Boy, I love to see these big guys get a chance at the football. He's looking back, man, you're thinking, hey, I'm going to be a star. And you start to squeeze that thing, and you let it hit the pads. If you can keep those hands on it, now Fran will come back because I'm sure he's got a catch in his system, and a very competitive guy, good football player.
Also a flag on the play. And it's going to go in favor of the St. Louis Stampede and against Milwaukee.
Well, that takes a little sting out of it.
Milwaukee, that's their first timeout.
Mustangs take their first time out, and we'll take our first break of this, the second quarter. Stampede pounding on the doorstep, looking to pull closer to the Mustangs. Discussions on the field between Michael Trigg and the head official. I think the argument is they're not sure if Fran Papsadero declared himself eligible on that last play or not. The flag goes this way as Jack Breaker discusses it with the head coach of Milwaukee, Michael Trigg.
You got to break the huddle on every play and identify the fact that you are the tight end. And they've got officials that their sole job is to make sure that, in this case, 99 comes up as he did on that play and established that he's the tight end.
Kaleo looking end zone, Hammond incomplete. Good coverage. Flying into the side was Michael James of Milwaukee.
James is a good one. He really is.
4 interceptions on the year. The leading tackler, the defensive specialist out of Arkansas.
Well, Clay talked to me before the game. He said, keep your eye on number 7. Well, we're doing it so far. Michael James is getting it done.
Milwaukee very efficient with their 76 yards offensively, putting up 19 points. And so a 2nd and 5 situation as 8 seconds now on the play clock, so plenty of time for Kaleo. The handoff to Wood. Wood breaks one tackle, spins down inside the 5, and finally he's brought down just past the 2 near the 1-yard line.
I'm very impressed with this Mustang defense. I mean, there's guys that force the action. This time, Michael James comes up, and he is really responsible for forcing that run in so that you could run right back to your helpers. When you're playing defense, you got to have people that come in and really help you. And watch 7 here at the bottom of your screen. We'll watch him as the play develops. Now, he's going to take off and create a lane right there. Watch that lane. That lane there, he makes contact, and that forces the back in. Funnels the attention in. You see the white shirts running over. That is the way you do it. That's textbook defense.
3rd and goal from the 2. Kaleo spins it. Look, touchdown. Flag on the play. Marcus Badgett with the touchdown reception. Will it hold, though?
Well, a late flag like that usually goes against the defense.
Penalty on Milwaukee.
Holding on the defense, number 11. Penalty is refused. Touchdown.
Well, as a DB, you